Okay, okay. We should be live. Should be live. Let's see. Is this working? Let's do that. And let's do that. Just setting up a couple of things. Hopefully, hopefully this is all working. Um, yep, that looks good to me. Awesome. Who's going to be the first person in the chat? Who's going to be the first? Who's going to be the first person in the chat to hopefully tell me that my audio is working? That would be great as well. And that the stream is up and running. Let's see. Is it working? I think so. Looks all good on my end. Awesome. Prods Bobsy, first one in the chat. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Working fine on my end. Awesome. Good to hear. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Okay, well, that seems like it's all working well. So give people a chance to join. I'm just about to finish my university degree as well, which is great. So hopefully I can put a bit more time into YouTube once I have done that, which will be very good. Looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll wait for the first challenge to come in. So if you want to challenge me, my username is here, the_chess_centurion. I also have a link to play me in the description below. It'll give like a link to my profile on chess.com. Okay, yeah, we have the first challenge from... Oh, we have a few, actually. Okay, Mr. Gary Young. Let's go. And yes, please keep the games as Blitz games with increment and unrated. So this game is rated, which I didn't realize when I accepted it, but please keep them unrated. Yo, Josh, how's it going, mate? Okay, we have an exchange Caro. I literally just played an exchange Caro before I started streaming against like a 2200. Okay, bishop to d3. We'll play knight c6, hitting the d4 pawn, which effectively forces the move c3. It's kind of the only reasonable response. Knight to f3 would be a bit inaccurate. We get bishop to g4, and this is quite a powerful pin. So c3. And here, I've recently been experimenting with this queen c7 line. It's in set. Well, okay, let me start again. In part, it is a waiting move, and it's also made to try to form a different plan against this h3 move because our bishop has no good developing square. So the idea is to go g6 and bishop to f5. I saw this on oh, come on. There we go. Okay, cool. I saw this on an Alex Banzea. Is that how you say it? I don't know. An Alex Banzea video where you play bishop to f5 and you try to trade like this. And it's actually really effective. And I don't think knight to f3 is a particularly good move. I mean, it's not bad, but... Yo, Porky, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, we get the trade. Cool. And yeah, also Porky is the GOAT in terms of one of the Discord mods. Love you, Porky. And yeah, kind of the whole point of this is one, we open the G file, which we can use for attacking purposes. And two, we're just going to have this structure of pawns where we exert immense pressure on the e4 square. We can probably whack a knight there, and it doesn't matter if my opponent tries to like stop me because I can just trade like this. Yeah, Porky, quite a few people in my comment section recommended this line maybe a month ago. There was a video that I must have played in the exchange variation, and a lot of people wanted me to learn this line, so I am. Okay, here we can take the bishop, and that might be your first instinct. It's probably a fine move, but I don't see a need to do it, to be honest, because I'd rather have, like, this sort of exchange where, yeah, I mean, here I think we're just winning a piece, so that's great. I mean, that's very good. Even if we weren't winning a piece, let's say white were to retreat the bishop and then trade with me. I mean, this pawn structure is really nice. We can play a move like e6, and you can't really break down this this pawn chain. So yeah, this is ideal. We are going to be up a piece unless I'm missing something, but I don't think so. Hi to everybody just joining the stream. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Figured streaming on a Sunday should be a good time to do so. Should be a lot of people with little else to do. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I'm streaming right now, because I've got little else to do. I've been working, well, I went to the gym in the morning, and then I've just been working since then. And I kind of ran out of work to do, and I was like, well, might as well hop on a stream, because I was playing chess anyway. Okay, let's take the knight. Queen takes. And, I mean, we can pretty much just try and be really solid here, I think. So I just want to play e6 and continue developing, like bishop to e7, maybe bishop d6, bishop e7, bishop to g3. Well, then I have bishop to d6, which looks pretty good. Of course, trades are always going to benefit me. And basically, I'm trying to win tempo. Because if my opponent puts his bishop back on h4, then we've effectively played bishop to d6 for free, which hopefully that makes sense. So, okay, of course, I'll be happy with a trade. Hey, man, about to go on my first ever OTB tournament, second day, 2 out of 3. Hey, CD, that is really cool. Love to hear that. Good luck. You got this. Let us know how it goes. Let me know in the comments of one of my videos. Okay, so here I want a queenside castle, but I also don't want to hang my f7 pawn, of course. You might be tempted to play a move like f5 and then castle, but then, I mean, the e6 pawn is going to be very, very weak. I could play a move like f5 followed by rook g6, but then again, the queen can always take on f5 anyway because the e pawn is pinned. So, what's the plan? What's the plan? I could... Knight e7 doesn't really do anything, I don't think. I could go rook g7, just defending, but then, I mean, queen f6 looks pretty strong. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible. I mean, again, I know we're up a piece, but we still want to maintain a good level of accuracy. So, what about rook g6? Rook here, king e7? I kind of like that. Kind of like that. If queen h5, I have pawn to h6. That's fine. If I get a chance to queenside castle, I will, but I just don't have a chance currently. Okay, let's just go a6 and stop that advance. Knight e7 is a reasonable move in some of these lines, but I'd rather my king go there. Okay, let's go b5 to clamp down on this, because I'm just trying to cut out counterplay. Of course, taking makes no sense. Then he gets c4. Maybe not immediately, but I don't want to allow anything, really. So I think just king to e7, followed by rook a to g8 is going to be what I'm going for. I could even play rook to f6 as well now. Okay. Let's double up. I assume my opponent's going to want to try and use the a file, but we do control a7. Okay, let's go h5, of course, trying to rip open the king side. And I'm really just trying to cut out any counterplay my opponent can have. So like I said, there's no rook to a7, there's no rook to a8, there's no rook to a5 or a4. You can go to a6, but it's really not a big deal, and this is a much more pressing matter. And now I will happily trade. That is very good. And we could even play a really fancy move, queen b4, to play this, but we don't get quite enough. It would be a funny move, though. Okay, how do we want to continue? I think I like rook to g6, with the idea to play rook to f6, and then get the f4 square for the queen. Epilon, hiya, how's it going, mate? Let's go. Let's go. We're threatening f2. Okay, now I'm going to force a queen trade. or like this. That's also fine. Then I'll bring my king over to d6 to keep an eye on the knight. Let's infiltrate with the rook. And let's snap that up. Oh, my microphone, bruv. Oh my god. Just stay up here, please. Okay, let's push. We want to keep all the pawns intact if possible. And then we'll shepherd our b-pawn up the board. Yes, you can play with me, but please don't beg in the chat to play. Just send me a challenge when the game is over, and I will just pick at random. Okay, now we're going to prepare pawn to b2, followed by rook to c1 check, which will end the game, basically. And then we can just push the other pawn, I suppose. Let's cut the king off on the back rank. It doesn't matter because he always has 2 squares to go to, and then we can give a mate like this. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Interesting game. And yeah, GG's to my opponent. And yeah, this is kind of the whole idea of this G6 line in the Caro-Kann exchange, which, like I said, I initially found in an Alex Banzea video, and as you can see, it's quite strong. Obviously, my opponent blundered a piece, which made my life easier. But, you know, the opening still worked as intended. Roxy, how's it going, mate? How's it going? I swear my revanced YouTube is lagging so much. What is revanced YouTube? Okay, let's play our next opponent. It's Jose Martins. Let's go. Okay, e6. Well, I like to play this b3 line against the French. Oh, chum. Alright, so the whole point of this is to sacrifice the e4 pawn. But if black takes it, we will win it back. So if he goes knight to f6, then we can just secure our e5 pawn, which you will see is a very, very common theme in my games. Yeah, I've been hovering around 2250 for a bit now, which I've been very happy with. Oh, okay, Viv, I get you. All right, bishop g7 is a slightly dubious move in some of these lines because the king side can come tumbling down very quickly for black if he's not careful. Queen h3 might have been better. I don't know, whatever. Let's go knight to a3. Knight to a3 is a very strong move because this is the idea. And if a6 is played, we go c3 and bring the knight back to c2. And I know this looks incredibly unnatural. I kind of have this sort of system semi-memorized because I've just played it quite a lot. So some of these maneuvers seem very strange, but a big idea is to play the move d4, right? And we're supporting that like so many different times. My opponent goes c4. I believe we're supposed to leave that or play knight to d4. Although I think actually bishop e2 and just castles is better. If my opponent takes, we'll take back and we open up the a file. We have threats if bishop takes b5 because we'll be pinning the rook. Sorry, pinning the pawn to the rook. So yeah, we're doing very well here. And obviously I'm more familiar with this opening than my opponent. Like I said, he has to be very careful. If he castles kingside, you can see how things could come tumbling down very quickly. What elo is it recommended to expand your opening repertoire? Well, it depends where you're starting at, Viv. Depends where you're starting at, doesn't it? Okay, queen b6. Stopping me from castling. Makes sense. I think I'm going to play knight to d4 now. Offer a knight trade and also prepare castle's kingside. Maybe I'm preparing a4 as well, because then the b3 pawn will be protected by my knight. That's also another thing that we could be trying to do. One of the downsides of this is my bishop kind of sucks, but okay, knight d3 isn't really an issue because the pawn gets incredibly weak. Knight to e4 is more of an issue. So what if we play knight here? Knight g5, knight d4, pawn d4, cd3, oh, sorry, cb3, ab3. Oh my god, I can't talk. Knight b3. Don't love that. Don't love that. I if I go b4, then knight to e4. Is that a problem? I suppose I can just go queen h3 and prepare knight to g5. That should be okay. Not really how this was supposed to go, to be honest. If knight a4, I'm less concerned. We can just go bishop c1 and find the bishop another home. Opponent's playing well. Well, queen h3 is the only square that really makes any sense. It's either h2 or h3 anyway. And g4 is on the cards in the future, which is one of the benefits of having the queen on h3. As I said, knight to g5 is going to be my method of kicking this knight away. If take, I can take with the pawn, that's okay. Okay, knight to e7. Really, really? Alright, well, let's challenge the knight. I mean, I suppose maybe knight to f5, but I can just take you. I don't really understand that move. We also have a4 ready to go, which is quite nice. So that's pretty good. Not really how it's supposed to go. Bro, why are you talking about my life? I was not aware. I was not aware. And of course, if knight takes, we're going to take with a pawn, open the h-file, potentially prepare h4 in some positions. Makes it very difficult for black to castle. Okay, let's take. We have a massive clamp on the dark squares, which is great. And as I said, pawn to a4 is on the way. We don't even necessarily have to castle. I mean, because the pawn structure is so locked up, nothing's going to open up against our king. Okay, now if a4, you can take. And the bishop does a good job of supporting the pawn. So, okay. How can we continue? How can we continue? Well, we're going to get hit with a5 if we're not careful. So maybe bishop d1, a4? If bishop d1, a5... we're going to have to go a3, aren't we? We're going to have to go a3. d3 doesn't make a whole lot of sense. g4, take. Hold on. Here, here, here. Oh, wait, that's really strong. Hold on, that's really strong. He can't take that. Okay. Okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. I get like 1,000,000 pieces for the queen if he takes on g4. And also, it complicates the position. And obviously, my opponent is low on time, as am I, which complicates things, and he will have to think more. Okay, pawn h4 makes sense. Good move. We can go knight to f3 going after the pawn, but it doesn't feel quite right. What about just something like this? I honestly don't see an issue with that. If a5, I'm just going to play a3. Okay. But you can't defend it forever. Can't defend it forever. Okay, knight c6 is a good move. Let's take. Yeah, strong play. Strong play. I probably should have played a4. Let's play it now. Whoa. Okay. Okay, wait, what's the... Oh my god, my rook. My rook is hanging. Oh, that's really nice. Ooh, no, 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 no. Also, I just hung my rook. Yeah, no, we're completely lost. We're completely lost. Let's try something. I mean, just queen g2 should end the game, really. Yeah. Let's keep trying, of course. My opponent could mess up. Give a check. Also low on time. Bring the queen. Okay, that's a free queen. Thank you. I don't think I'm winning, though. I think I'm still losing, but there's no time on the clock, so... Oh, no, I've just... Yeah, no, I've blundered it. Wait, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. Oh. Oh. What? Dude, my opponent just played an incredible game of chess, and he definitely should have won that. But we managed to swindle it. Oh my god. What was that? What was that? So where did I go wrong? So here I'm still good. Taking is bad. All right, yeah. So I need to just allow this. I need to allow this. But actually the best move is knight c2. Oh, and then a5 is a4 is the plan. So let's say king p7. Oh no, now it wants to take. I thought that this was a problem, but I missed queen to f1 actually. I missed that. Okay. Yeah, my opponent played very well. I don't know if I missed another way to win. Yeah, I just forgot my rook was hanging. I just completely forgot. And then yeah, I just tried my best. I think rook to a8 makes the most sense here. This is what I would have played with black personally. Yeah, Jose, you played very, very well. Very, very well. But yeah, I thought that we can just keep a bit of pressure on, keep asking questions of the position. I mean, b5 was literally just a move to confuse him because I couldn't find anything else. I thought if queen takes, I don't know, I can make some kind of infiltration move. Realistically, nothing works, but yeah, queen c7 brings me back into the game. It's still drawn. Here, apparently, I'm winning after d5, which I think prepares bishop d4, which is, you know, interesting. But I took queen e7 is best. Here, b6. What? Oh. Oh. Okay, yes. Very interesting game. All right. Let's jump into the next one. I have no idea what this flag is. Okay, horse feathers. I literally don't even have a guess. Canary Islands. All right, cool. Maybe he's from the Canary Islands. Maybe he isn't. But maybe he will play a move. That would be great. Please play a move. Come on. Where you at? Where you at? People really do just run it down to 1 second. I swear. Okay, we got an exchange caro. Pan of attack. Okay, this is what I recommend against the caro with the white pieces. This is an odd line. Okay, it's playable though. And I recommend a quick fianchetto system. It's quite nice. Bishop e3 seems wrong. The bishop should probably come to g5 or f4. But okay, c5. Yeah, makes sense. Still, I don't think white's quite handled this properly because I don't see how he's going to stop us from going e5. After knight to g4, I don't think you can stop this. That's interesting. Okay. I still think that e5 is very strong. I don't think you can take this because d4 probably just wins. Because at the end of the line, if take, there's no bishop h7 check because the g-pawn is in the way, right? Epsilon, why can't I pre-move? Are you my opponent? Okay. Well, I think this is just winning after take and push e4. One of the big ideas of playing this fianchetto system against the Panov attack is, one, to apply pressure to d4, but two, to potentially prepare a quick e5 if white plays inaccurately, right? Because if you can execute e5 in some of these positions, particularly if white pushes c5, you're going to have a great time. We can push or we can take. I think I think I prefer taking, because then rook e8 is also a threat. So yeah, this is just completely winning. And I believe bishop e3 back on move 7 is actually wrong. Bishop g5 is the idea, which is what I play. No, that's not what I play with white. I don't play knight to f3 so early. I delay it. Because there can be some complicated positions with bishop g4 if you go for an early knight f3, but yeah. MH. Yeah, you literally just send me a challenge after the game is over. So, yeah. Uh, yeah, Ager, you are correct. You can just enable pre-move in the settings. Okay, so take. I don't even want to take that. I think just rook e8 is better because we win the queen. That's better than a piece. So, let's do that. Let's do that. Which is why I prefer taking rather than pushing e4. And I mean, you can see how strong this bishop is on this diagonal, particularly with the white bishop off the board. He just has no answer to it, aside from the fact that he's losing a queen, of course. Okay. How's he going to deal with this? 2 pieces hanging. No real way to deal with it all. If you take, yes, you attack my queen, except I take your queen with check, which is the problem. And then some people might be tempted to take the knight. It's a reasonable move, but it's unnecessary, I think. Because, I mean, the knight can't do anything anyway because of our pawn on c6 dominating it, and also our pawn here. Okay. Rook b8 is interesting because we have a mate threat of taking on b2 and then taking the knight, which is quite nice. Quite nice. Yeah, there's a link in the description, Olympics. So probably rook to b1 is forced, and then I can just pick up the c5 pawn or something. I mean, I'm not that fussed about an extra pawn, but, you know, we hit more things. d4 potentially on the way. All very good stuff. And how do you see a move like rook to b2? I mean, it's removing the defender, right? That's essentially what it is. Also, we make my opponent's rook very passive, which is just useful, of course. Now we'll pick up the knight because it's pinned. Got to make sure we don't get back rank mated, but we should always have bishop to f8 or king g7, so we should be fine. Again, try not to lose a queen here and mess this position up. That would be not good. Where do you go in settings? I think it's literally just settings and then play, and then you can turn pre-moves on, right? Or is it board? Okay, I actually don't know. I actually have no idea. Okay, and then we'll take. And the king moves, and then we'll take. And then the king moves, and then we can mate. So, GG horse feathers. Good game, good game. And, okay, we'll play Chess Arc next, because I recognize the profile photo, unfortunately. Okay, he plays the Alekines. I think he might have played this against me last time. And I like this kind of gambit system. Ooh, d5. Yeah, that's a strong move. I think we can I think d6 is better actually though. I think we can insist on the gambit now. Yeah, okay, he's playing correctly. I think he said that he was going to analyze this after our game. So he's playing well, but I still like our position. You'll notice that in so many of my videos I get this sort of structure because I love it. Oh, that's also a strong move. Completely missed that. Completely missed that. Strong move. Alright. Obviously I can't castle, which is annoying. How should I deal with this? How should I deal with this? I could give a check. Let's give a check. And bishop c6 looks interesting. Just trying to stop c5, which would chip away at my center. Okay. Let's go a4. Give the option of bishop to a3, maybe. Viv, bruv. You're just asking for me to ignore you. Trying to clamp down on b5. Okay, whoa. What? Well, now I just get g7. What am I missing? Rook f8. Queen h7. I go up a pawn there. Yeah, this is why I love this opening so much. I mean, it's just so difficult. Even though Black's played this incredibly well, he's played this really, really well. It's so hard for him to play still because g7 is so weak and I have such strong control of the center, right? Okay, let's just nab the pawn. I don't see a reason not to. Do you listen to Eminem? I have done. The threat here is bishop h6, by the way. I had an Eminem song as my walkout song for my first kickboxing like ring fight. Okay, let's take. I could win a7, but I'd rather do this. I can castle as well, which is great. Favorite song? What favorite Eminem song? What would it be? What would it be? I don't know. Also, this is not a threat because my queen controls this square. He might blunder his queen here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Dude, I can't think of any Eminem songs right now. It's probably Till I Collapse. Probably Till I Collapse. Alright, G3 just to dominate the movement of this knight. Yeah, Superman's a good one as well, Black Sheep. Mockingbirds. It's alright. It's alright. I'm not that into rap, though. I'm more of a rock guy. So I mostly listen to rock music. I can't believe I just couldn't remember any Eminem songs. Yeah, Lose Yourself. That's a good one. That's a good one. Bad Relationship. That's not a song, is it? Okay, h5. Let's kick the knight. h6. Obviously, if I can push the pawn, I might as well. Let's take with the knight with check. Push. I assume he's going to sack the knight. Yeah. Let's give a check. King fa. Give a check and then mate. Awesome. GG. GG. Yeah, this system against the Alekhine's defense is really good, and most people take here, get hit with d4, go bishop e7, get hit with queen g4, play g6, and although we're down a pawn here, this position is really easy to play. Most of the time you get something like this, c5, castles, it's very, very easy to play. Do I play any comps? I assume you mean like chess competitions. I play some tournaments very, very occasionally. I'll probably play one in the summer because I think I could do quite well. What was it? What rock artists? Yeah, I mean like Pantera, Alice in Chains, some of like the new metal stuff, like Linkin Park, System of a Down, that sort of thing. Okay, let's play Kyle D. Guns 26. Why not play Knight C3 to transpose into Vienna? That's actually a really good point, lol. That's a really good point. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? Ooh, okay. Are you gonna play that? Yeah, I like Lynyrd Skynyrd for sure. I like I've been getting into some of that older American rock recently. I was listening to Tuesday's Gone while I think I was playing Clash Royale earlier when I woke up. I woke up, went to the loo, played a bit of Clash Royale while listening to Lynyrd Skynyrd, and then went to the gym. So that was a good morning. Good morning. Very random. But yes, fantastic band. I remember when I got my current car, I was driving to go see my girlfriend and blasting Freebird on the motorway. That was real fun. Okay, this is the sort of Centurion system that I've referenced before, and we've made my opponent play knight to a4, which I've got to say seems like a bit of a concession. He does have the c5 square for his knight, so I'm not trapping it with a move like b5, unfortunately. Does e5 here work? If take then b5 traps the knight. If e5 bishop takes... knight d7. I think this is the move. Boston. Oh, I think one of their songs, the two-worded song that starts with crazy. Is that by Boston? Because then I know who they are. Oh no, I'm completely mixing it up. That's Buckle Cherry. Yeah, I'm completely mixing it up. What songs might I know from Boston? Okay, well that's a really good move. That's a really good move. Because now if b5, knight here, take. I can't really take this. It's quite strong. I suppose I'll play f6. I know never play f6, but I don't think it's that big an issue. I don't see how white exploits this. Aman, how's it going, mate? Good to see you in the stream. Whoops. Hope everyone's enjoying so far. Yeah, we're having some interesting games here. b4. That's a good move. Oh, okay. Yeah, John, I see what... I know that. Okay. Yeah, b4's a strong move. Can I take? Yeah, I can just take that. I think my opponent's blundered. Because he's got two pieces on pre. And he's attacking my queen, of course. But yeah, and then we take. You can't block with the queen because I'll take your knight. You can't block with the knight because I'll take your knight. So you have to block with the knight and then I'll take your bishop. That's a nice little tactic. Also threatening this. And we free up the f6 square for my other knight as well, which is great. Yeah, let's take that. We're up a pawn. But we're more than up a pawn, really. Does b5 win the knight? I think it does. Yeah, I probably didn't have to take that. b5 wins the knight regardless. Because you've just lost your control over c5. I missed that, but I think I'm okay. Maybe he's going to play bishop d3. Yeah, he does. But I think I can just go knight to e7. I mean, the knight's not going anywhere, is it? So I might as well just defend my knight. His knight can't do anything. My opponent's a good player, so he's creating good counterplay. Although he technically should be lost, you know, he's still finding ways to complicate matters. Of course, the threat is bishop takes, and if pawn takes, then he wins the rook, which would mean I would be losing. But the problem is the knight has no way out. I mean, a knight on the rim is dim, right? And the reason being is because it has a limited number of squares it can move to, and all 4 of the squares it can move to are occupied. Another strong move. Ooh. Take f5. I have this very important queen h4 move. Yeah, that's how I get out of this. Yeah, that's okay. I still have it. And I force the queens off the board. Yeah, my opponent made that very difficult to try and consolidate. Game isn't over, but it should be completely winning now. Should be. But yeah, if I didn't have this queen h4 move, then it'd be more difficult to convert this. I still might have moves like queen c3 or queen b2. Probably queen c3. But yeah, this should be alright. Let's nab the pawn on f5. Let's just get castled. I think that's the easiest thing to do. Okay, rook f1. Let's just go bishop d7 to preemptively defend here. And no, let's go after this pawn, because that is stupid weak. And then we can pick up the rook for free. Awesome. Yeah. GG, Kyle. Really good player. Really strong player. Very well played. And yeah, this is my dubbed Centurion system with queen to b6. And my opponent did play the best line. We responded well. Okay, e5 is inaccurate. b4 is the move here. And then we lose the pawn. Okay. So what is the best move here? I actually don't know. Knight f6. And why did I reject knight f6? I thought he could just play like e3 and he was good. Bishop f5? Yeah, bishop f5. Let's say b4. Queen d8, knight c5. This is what... Oh, yeah, this is what I was concerned about. This is what I was concerned about. But the computer says queen c8, and I'm apparently fine. Knight f3. b6. Here. Yeah, this is alright, to be fair. Okay, interesting. GG to my opponent. But yeah, the game... Whoa, I'm losing after f6. Here. Knight c5, knight c5, dc5. And if I take, why am I losing? Oh, b4. Completely missed b4. But so did my opponent. So, yeah. Here. The only chance is queen d2. And after queen a4, bishop d6. Ah, that's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, anyway, let's jump into the next game. Against Aperba 017. And let's hit him with... Let's go e4, e5. Let's go e4, e5. And let's play... Oh my god, I don't know anything. Oh, I hate the Scotch. Yeah, I hate the Scotch. Okay. Yeah, I hate this so much. Why did I play this? Why did I play this? Okay, I think the move is knight f6. Followed by d5. And then it's like here, and knight takes, and bishop d7. I think this is the way you're supposed to play it. Oh my god. Thankfully, I watch enough chess YouTube to know a little bit of theory, even if I don't play the lines. Yeah, the Scotch Gambit is so scary. I have terrible... One of the reasons I stopped playing e4, e5 is actually because I hated the Scotch so much. I just hated all of it. I scored so badly. Yeah, I believe I'm supposed to take with the c-pawn. Okay, well, that's a free knight. That was very kind. Obviously, he assumed I would take with the bishop. But you're not supposed to take with the bishop in those lines. You're supposed to take with the b-pawn. That's like a very common sort of theme, because you basically say that you're going to push c5 in the future and kick the knight. Okay, of course, I'll be happy with a bishop trade. I'll follow it up with queen g5 with a double attack. Got to be a little bit careful about my bit. Oh my god, my microphone. What is this? Okay. The wrong way. Microphone is really hard to tighten up. It's really stiff. I mean, that's kind of the point. It's metal, but... Used to play the Scotch Gambit. Really lovely opening for white. Play the Belgrade now. I actually don't know what the Belgrade is, but I hear a lot of people talk about it. Okay, I could take this pawn, but to be honest, I'm just going to castle. I still don't know how he wins this back. Let's take. Defending d5. We could take the knight, but there's no rush. There's no rush. Still love the Scotch Gambit to this day. Love the bishop takes h7. Sorry, f7 sacrifice. Yeah, it's all just insanely scary to face with the black pieces. And I want no part in it at all, ever. I want nothing to do with it. Okay, let's take... We could play d4? Take? No, that's no good. Let's just nab this. Let's just nab the pawn. You know that I always love an extra pawn. And d4 is still on the way with this. Yo, Tanner, how's it going? I'm doing very well. I've done a lot of work today, ran out of things to do, and then decided to hop on a stream. But yeah, I'm heading back to university very soon to do my final exam. Brother, it would actually make my day if my microphone could stay in place. How are you doing, Tanner? How are you doing? Okay, well, let's force a queen trade. There may be more accurate moves, but I don't care. A queen trade is exactly what I want. And then we'll defend the pawn. And then we'll just push the pawn. Probably. Or we could bring in another rook. I don't know, something like that. There's no need to overcomplicate this kind of position. I'm up a piece. And also 2 pawns. Hope you ace the exam. Thank you. I mean, to be fair, I don't actually care that much about it. I mean... Oh, come on. Totally honest. Like, I don't plan on doing anything with my degree, really. But, yeah, it'd be nice to do well. Okay, he can have the c7 pawn. That's not the end of the world. Okay, yeah, that's a move. Let's just support the bishop then. c4, yeah, cool. And then we just drop back. And the rook has no way in. Yeah, let's go rook to d2. The important part is that my bishop defends my rook. If take, and take, then we can take. Well, black sheep, yeah. I mean, fortunately for me, my sort of like ability to make money in the future doesn't depend on my degree, so it changes things a bit. That's a cool move. It doesn't work, but it's a cool move. Because we can give the check first. Oh, no, you actually have this. My bad. Yeah, you do actually have that. But okay, I mean... Oh my... I thought I just blundered back rank mate, but I didn't. That was... Oh my god. Let's just come back. I'm actually trying my best to throw this game, just to prove that the Scotch is a good opening. Okay, let's give my king some breathing room. Trying to get better at your visualization. How is that going for you, Tanner? How are you trying to do that? Because visualization is so important in chess, and it's one of the things that will improve your calculation. Like, beyond anything else, visualization is going to do the most for you in terms of your calculation. Okay, let's go h5. Take some space. Leave this pawn as a weakness. Rook d3 on the way. I suppose I could have started with rook d3, but this is also fine. c4 is weak, g3 is weak, and a3 is weak. Also, you can't play this. Wasn't there a back rank mate? No, there wasn't. Because after check here and take, if rook here, I have rook back to e8. So I fortunately survive. Okay, pawn a4. Let's go pawn a5, kick the rook. And we'll nab the pawn. Okay, let's bring the king in to defend. Let's go pawn c6 to defend the pawn. If rook a8, I'll play rook to c3, and if rook takes, then I'll take defending the bishop. Okay, well, this makes my life very easy. I can go bishop b5 and pawn a4. Get this bishop defending absolutely everything. And then we pick up the rook, because discovered check. And my opponent resigns. GG. Well played, Apurba. Good game, good game. What am I studying? I'm studying history. When I play chess for hours, I feel like I see the board different. Yeah. That's probably not a good thing, though. You should probably stop playing at that point. Okay. Let's go Rayop 06. Come on, fellow Brit. Let's have it. Let's be having you. Of course, we're opening with e4. Because that is the GOAT opening. Bobby Fischer said it himself. And if you're going to say that Fischer's wrong, then I think you're probably wrong, to be honest. Okay, we have a Caro. Of course, we're going to play the Panov, because the Panov is the absolute goat against the Caro Khan. And I have quite a few videos on my channel in the Panov, because it's great. When I play chess, what would your degree be in? Yeah. History. Okay, knight to f6, knight to c3. And after knight to c6, I don't like knight to f3, because after bishop g4, queen b3, there's some very drawish lines. A lot of people play bishop f5. That's not a good move. It's a really bad move. Queen b3 is the idea, to exploit the fact that bishop is no longer defending here. Yeah, Alvedo, I kind of guessed that you pre-moved. But don't most people take with the pawn anyway? Because taking with the bishop is wrong. So I assume most people would take with the pawn. Or yeah, do most people take with the bishop? That seems very strange. And yeah, this is a very common mistake. Law school. No. Oh, well, do you mean I could do that after history? Yes. But I don't want to. So I'm not doing it. Okay, b6. Then we can take on d5. And bishop b5 is potentially on the way. I think we had this exact position in a speedrun game recently. Alvedo, I get that, man. I get that. I remember years ago I played a man from Chessbra when he was streaming, and I got myself into a completely drawn position. It was an opposite colored bishop endgame, completely drawn, and I managed to lose it spectacularly because I just got so nervous. I just made horrible moves. Oh my god, please. Please. Okay. I believe I've had this exact position in that speedrun game. Dude. Sorry. I get that is probably quite annoying to hear me constantly complaining about the microphone. But it's annoying, so. Alex, doesn't the Fianchetto defense just get a good position against the Panov? Yeah. It kind of does just get a good position against the Panov. That's why I play it. Okay, let's take. Now we secure our extra pawn because it's no longer doubled and isolated. Okay, pawn takes is surprising. If bishop takes, I was going to go d5. So we can just continue our development with knight to f3. There's a very juicy square on e5 ready for our knight to hop into. What are you planning to do for a living? I have my finger in many pies, as the saying goes. I do a lot of different things, and yeah, kind of a combination of a lot of different things, really. Part of it is the chess channel, I suppose. Like, I could always do more coaching, but the chess channel is decent. For $1,000, that Mike should do the talking. What? I made an alt account for playing blindfold games. That is very interesting, Tanner. I rate that. That's a really good idea. Okay, let's get castled. Why do you play the Panov? Well, against the Fianchetto defense, if you know what you're doing with white, you can get some decent positions. It kind of leads to like an equal game, but it's very complicated and very dynamic is what I've found. So even if the engine thinks that a lot of it is equal, I still find myself like being able to get lots of positions where I get the opportunity to outplay my opponent, right? Okay, take. Now we get rid of our isolated d-pawn. e6 is a massive weakness, and we have bishop to c4 on the way, which I think we should probably play now. Let's do this. Bendik, how much money do you make monthly on YouTube? I think I make like 30 quid a day or something like that in like Great British pounds, which is pretty good. I can't complain. I mean, I can't live off of it, right? But it's a good start, and the YouTube isn't that difficult to do, you know? Just like a video a day. It takes like, I don't know, an hour or so after the recording, the thumbnails and that. It's pretty good, and I enjoy it, so no complaints. Okay, we are up 2 pawns. But the c-pawn is quite weak. So I really have to play bishop b2. Play c4. Feels wrong though. I'm gonna go bishop b2. I don't like that, but I'm still gonna play it. I think it's the right move. Okay, okay. How does black continue? Well, I don't know. What do you use for thumbnails? Literally just Canva. My thumbnails are pretty damn basic, as we all know. So yeah, literally just Canva. Okay, let's go after the queen. Maybe infiltrate on the 7th rank. Why don't you play the bishop f5 variation, Caro? I've been trying to learn it a bit, to be fair. I have been trying to learn some of it, but I think I get very scared of like the bayonet attack, which we had in a recent speedrun episode. Even though I dealt with it fine in that episode, I'm still scared of it. Okay, let's go rook d7. I actually don't know if that was a good move. This looks pretty strong. Yeah. Maybe rook d5 was better? I don't know. My opponent's creating some good counterplay. Okay, I think I should take here. Yeah. Let's take. Don't blunder this, of course. Okay, my opponent times out. Yeah, I think that I kind of let up a little bit here. Because after rook d7, a move like rook c to e8 looks pretty good. And if I play something like rook c6, rook e5, rook a7, rook e2, this is quite concerning. This is quite concerning. Okay, I'm going to go to the loot really quickly. And then I will accept the next challenge. So, yeah, give me a sec, please. Okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. What's being said? What is being said? I assume we've got a lot of challenges in. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay. Sorry, I am back. Let's go. Let's go. Gisto. Gisto? Alright, e4. c6, another Caro. Chess Vibes just did a video with Avetic Gregorian about some gambits. They talked about Von Hennig against the Caro. Yeah, you'll have to check out my my video about refuting the Von Hennig, won't you? You play the classical, but bishop c4 comes after de4. Yeah. I know what the Von Hennig is. Okay, my opponent's playing the Fianchetto defense. So I think we're supposed to take. So this is a slightly oh no, that I'm not supposed to take, am I? No, bishop g5. Oh my god, I just mixed up my move order. Okay, whatever. I'm supposed to go bishop g5, aren't I? But I forgot. Okay, well let's just pile up some pressure. That's all right, innit? I think queen to b3 rather than taking was the way to go. Yeah, I think queen b3 and then after bishop g7, then you take. Wait, do you? Yeah, you do. Yeah, Tanner, I've got a video on that because it's really scary, I know. And my recommendation is basically like knight to f6 and like e6 and yeah. Hurley, yeah, mate. The 164 elo was a very, very scary one. Okay. Bishop g7. I suppose we can throw in h4. Yeah, this is not a problem because we have this. So let's go h5. I'm not sure allowing me to play h5 was good. I think my opponent probably had to play h5. I assume he thinks that he has knight to a5, so he didn't have to worry about that, and he forks my queen and my bishop. If he wins my light squared bishop, he's doing quite well. But he doesn't, because I can always throw in a check. Well, probably with the bishop, but because if knight a5, queen check, and bishop d7, I have bishop b5. I'm threatening take, take, and take. If he takes me, knight back c6, well then I win b7. It's actually quite nice. Yeah, he castles, okay. Should I take or should I push? Or should I do neither? I probably do neither. I don't need to commit just yet. Oh, no, now this is a move. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's not. It is. I'll live with it. I'll live. His bishop kind of sucks, though. He could try and fianchetto it. That's maybe the way to go. If b6, queen c6... What was bishop d7? Nah, that makes no sense. I do have bishop to a3. Don't want to play that. Bishop a3, rook e8. Not sure I like that. Oh, maybe I do. Changed my mind. I do like it. Reason being is I'm not taking because I thought f takes was good. But now after f takes, you don't have the open f file because I've kicked your rook away from the f file. Taking like this looks scary. Looks scary. So, do I have an opponent for next game, Turbo Blitz? I will accept whatever challenge I get. And also, now I control f8, so I can play a move like d5 and just do this, maybe? No, sorry. That doesn't work. How do I get my queen over there? Queen c6? And like queen e4? I'm trying to get over to the king side ASAP, because if I can teleport my queen to h7, then the game is over, because we're covering this. Yeah, black sheep. Queens are valuable. You shouldn't give them away, especially not for free. That's not a good idea. Okay, rook b8, preparing bishop b7. Okay. Let's go queen e4, and like queen g4, and queen h3. I mean, it's such a strange plan, but... Okay, let's do this. And then we're coming here. This is really funny. Just like snaking my queen over there. Yeah, and I can just go here though. And I don't know how you stop mate. Because the whole issue is that I'm covering f8. Normally, black can get away with this kind of thing, and after queen h7, king f8, the attack kind of dies. That's a very common like attacking theme. But here, it doesn't die. It does not die. The attack continues, and I don't think there's any defense. That's pretty funny. Like, literally. What was it? Queen c6, queen e4, queen f4, queen h2. Like, the dumbest maneuver I've ever done, but it works, so. GG to my opponent. Well played. Yeah, I think I just mishandled this. Yeah, black is much better. He's much better. But he has to play rook c8. And if this, f6. Ooh, that's gross. That's gross. But yeah, then if I give this check, you just have king f7. So the engine wants, after rook c8, knight e5. And it thinks my opponent should go for this, which looks terrifying. Terrifying. But okay, the engine is unfeeling. I did mishandle the opening a bit, though. Some reason I took, which is not that good. Queen b3 is definitely the best move. If dc4, bishop c4, we have very good pressure. And then like e6 has to be played, and that's very uncomfortable. And if bishop g7, then you can take castle. What is it, like bishop e2? This is quite a good system for black, though, because it's very hard for us to hold on to this pawn, especially if just knight d7 and knight to b6 is played. We basically can't hold on to it. GG's just a chess guy. Okay, let's jump into the next game. Okay, here's a good player. Stu G Chess. Alright, obviously Caro. Why don't I try the G3 Vienna? I think I can just get rid of you for your username, to be fair. Go change your username, bruv. Okay, knight c3, bishop b4. This is the fantasy. This is what I play against the fantasy. I think I can take. And then like knight f6? Or is that just bad? It's probably just bad, isn't it? Yeah. I should not have played knight to f6. That was a terrible move. The fantasy is a really good opening. It is really good. Is this okay? I don't think so. E5's on the way. Did I see Crystal Palace? I didn't watch the game. Was it good? I mean, I'm happy they won, but I didn't see it. Okay, let's go Queen A5. Looks interesting. If E5, I mean knight D5 and bishop D2, and we're doing very well. Yeah, bishop D2 here is fine. A3 isn't really a problem. I think someone's having a barbecue outside. Okay. How do we continue? Does no one like Man City? No, nobody does. Nobody does. And with good reason. I think E5 is interesting. Oh, yeah, I did actually see that handball. He probably should have been sent off for that. That was... Yeah, I'm not sure how VAR decided that. Yeah, let's go E5. Let's go E5. Yeah, he definitely should have been sent off, though. I did see some photos of that. That was ridiculous. Yeah, these fantasy systems, they are so difficult to navigate. So difficult. It's a really good option against the Caro. If I didn't play the Panov, I might play that. As a beginner, I play the Queen's Gambit and Caro Khan, but I don't know what to play against d4. Any suggestions? C6, mate. C6. I was unhappy with their 2-year UCL ban was uplifted. I didn't know that that was a thing. I'm just giving him knight f3, aren't I? Yeah, he just gets knight f3. That's not good. He's doing very well there. Well, my opponent is a good player, so, you know, makes sense. Yeah, knight f3. I suppose I should just retreat. On the bright side, I mean, my development isn't too difficult from now on. White has an isolated e-pawn. Maybe that's good. Bishop to g5. Suppose I have, like, knight bd7, maybe. Or the immediate h6. That's also a move. Yeah. Knight g4. Queenside castle is strong. I can't... If here in Queenside Castle I'm losing... Well, probably, I think. Let's do this. Let's do this. If take, then I can take with a bishop, and then I want to win the d5 square for the knight. I think this makes the game a bit easier. Go bishop e6, secure the light squares. I can take the bishop, but it's not really doing anything, is it? I can probably just queenside castle, to be fair. Sudia, I know it's you, Viv. That was on a technicality which they can't use for the current PL investigation, so hopefully they got absolute max penalty. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably should. They probably should have that. Okay. Let's nab the bishop. And I want to bring this knight into d5 to replace my other knight. a2 is hanging, but like that would be very bad after b3. My bishop just gets trapped. Like here, take. My bishop's lost. What are the requirements for the challenge? Literally just like challenge me on chess.com. That's all you have to do. Okay, knight d5. No, that's wrong. I can't take. Let's go here. Because if take, I don't want any bishop c4 shenanigans. In the long run, e5 is going to be weak, though. Like, once I get castled, e5 will be weak. So, that is good. Okay. Let's take with the queen. Rook d6. Queen here. The question is, do I castle kingside? I don't want to, but we're going to go knight d5 to stop rook to d6, though. I kind of want to castle queenside, because I think that evens the game out. And then I should be better based on how weak e5 is. Offer a queen trade. The open file for the rook should be useful. Very low on time, though, so I need to shut up. Okay, that's a big fork. Lovely. Taking up. Challenge that. Bring the rook up. The rook has no infiltration squares, which is why I left the king on e7 to prevent rook d7 or rook d8. Yeah, this should just be winning. Okay. No, but now we have a rook trade forced. Surely the king and pawn endgame is a win. Surely. Obviously, I don't want to take because then his king gets active. That's a good move. But I don't think it's good enough. Now we get f5. We bring the king. Take. Let's just freeze his queenside pawns, and then his king will eventually have to give me space. Go c4, b5. And my opponent resigns. Yeah, because there's no way back into this game for white. It's completely losing once the rooks come off the board like that. I didn't want to take here, though. It's still winning, but I have a little bit less space. I don't know. It's just a little bit more difficult. I suppose the king's going to be forced back regardless. So we're probably just going to get a very similar position. Like, this is essentially the same position as we had in the game, but yeah. Yeah, that was Eze. That was Eze. He's such a good player. He's really, really good. That was a great game. From Stu G. Stu G? I don't know. Very good game. Yeah, taking on E4 was wrong. Knight E7 was the move. Okay. Okay. Wow. Of course, Knight E7 was the move. I mean, yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, Viv, you can have your game. You can have your game. Go E4. C6. He wants to play the Panov, but we're not going to let him play the Panov because he keeps studying it so that he can specifically beat me. Let's take. This is the most challenging line to meet the Botvinnik Karls with. Yeah, Johan, I heard about that. With Lupo. Okay, what's the move? Bishop b5, I think it is. This is quite uncomfortable for black to deal with. E6. Bishop to E3, I think. Yeah. It's bishop E3. We're basically just going to defend both these pawns. Is it F4 or knight F3? Does it matter? I'm going to say F4. That's my guess. That's my guess. Is it or is it not? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Do I retreat or do I take? Do I retreat or do I take? I think take. I think. B takes looks wrong. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, he just said he meant to take it with the queen. I was going to say this feels wrong. Okay, let's go c3. Potentially preparing b4 to lock this pawn in. Okay. Let's go knight f3. Drop the bishop back. G4 potentially on the way, so h5 is a very common move for black here to stop that. Okay, let's kick the knight. Okay. Let's just develop. And defend our pawn. H4, H5. Okay. Let's go H4. So we're still up a pawn. Still up a pawn. H5. Kick the knight back again. How should we continue? I think B4. Then King F2. Something like that. A3 to secure everything. Okay. It's an odd move. I suppose Bishop B7 castles, right? But H6 looks pretty strong. And here we're just up the extra pawn with a very commanding position. Because we have so much space. Viv saying that his knight's getting way too bullied. Too right. Okay, A3. We secure all of our pawns. Should be 5. Yeah. F5 looks interesting. I'm going to go Queen C2. Maybe Knight D4 makes sense. Okay, let's just put it on C3 instead. That's fine. Whatever. Just lock everything down. Knight D4. F5. That looks good. That looks good. That is good. And my king is very safe on F2. I don't really see how black exploits it. The question is, do I go F5? Although it looks like I'm endangering my own king, and maybe I am, it looks like the right move to me. It looks like the right move. Because I think knight takes is better than pawn takes, But I don't see how black defends then. Okay, let's take this. We can win ourselves a pawn. I don't really see a reason not to. We could throw in h6, I suppose, which I'm actually going to do, because defending this is very hard. Okay. But I'm very safe on g3. I'm very safe. g6, now I take with tempo on the rook. So, what does that do? Don't know. Oh, stopping rook f1. I suppose that's the point. Okay, that's interesting. I could force it through, but it's probably unnecessary. How do I want to do this? Let's go a4. If bishop takes, I think I just have queen a3. And you can't move the bishop because I'll win a rook. So you have to go back. Here? No. That's too much. Okay, let's go knight f3. I need to not use too much time here. Queen b8. Okay, reasonable. Pressure on e5 as well. And b4. Good move. Okay. Let's bring the knight in. I don't think I'm missing anything. That's just a free rook. Let's take. Knight back. Let's secure the pawn. Bring my queen in. Oh, I've just allowed queen takes there. Why have I done that? I should be okay. I should be fine, but I should not have allowed that. That was a bit silly. This is a threat, though. But then there's this, I suppose. Oh, he wins the rook. Yeah, but I don't think you can actually get away with it. That's just checkmate. Okay, GG. That was a bit of a scary game. That was a bit of a scary game. I should not have played queen e3. That was a terrible move. Computer wants rook f1, queen f3. Okay, that's just despicable. Despicable. But yeah, GG to Viv. This is one of the scary things to face in the Botvinnik Carls for black. It can be quite difficult to handle when white just holds on to the pawns. And here it's already like +1, so GG. GG. Very interesting game. And good job creating counterplay as well. That was very impressive. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go PD Cheese. Come on. All right. We have a Vienna. Awesome. Awesome. Let's go D3. Bishop C5. F4. Yeah, F4. And this is a very interesting position. Oh, what's the move here? Here it's F5. Here it's F5. I'm sure. Or is it knight F3? Might have been knight F3. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Let's go knight F3 now. This is still good. This is still good. And if take, then just take, and we're doing very well. We could always take his knight if we won. We could play knight d5 ourselves, maybe. And here we have excellent control over d5. I mean, I don't see how that's ever going to be played. Okay. h5. It's bold. All right, let's go bishop g5. And yeah, maybe this is on the way. Okay, that's an interesting move. I don't really want to take that. I don't think. The knight's not going anywhere anyway, so let's just castle. I should be pretty safe on the queen side. I can go h3, g4, potentially. I could take and go g4. Okay, I don't... Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the idea. What am I on about? Let's just stop that then. I wouldn't move this rook because then knight takes h2 is a little bit of a problem. Yeah, f6 is playable, but I'm just going to drop back. And this light square diagonal is ridiculously weak, and your knight also cannot go back to f6. It will have to go back to h6 after I play h3. This is a common idea in the Vienna, where you allow the knight to kind of get to g4 in tandem with the bishop, but it can't stay there for that long, and it just gets booted out in many of the lines. And then, I mean, it's just not very good over here, right? If not here, I can probably even play g4, or just take this. Yeah, we can just take there. Again, h5 is not a common move in these positions, and it's kind of just a weak pawn, right? As we're seeing. Okay, well, that loses the game on the spot. The bishop takes f7 check, and then we pick up the rook. Let's take. Let's give a check. And, okay, how do we get more pieces into the attack? Probably g4, g5 to open up the g file, I would guess. Okay. Let's come back. Let's offer a queen trade. If he declines it, which he should, of course, then we'll just play g5. I suppose he has ideas of b4, getting my knight to move and then taking on a2. Let's go g5. Yeah, this is pretty good. What do you think of this big push this year to make chess 960 a thing? I think that if grandmasters enjoy it, then that's ideal. You know? Like, that's fine by me. No issues at all. If grandmasters want to play it, then play it. If they don't, then don't. Whatever they want. It's fine. How many people are in line? It's not really like people in a line to play. It's like, just send me a challenge, and then I choose at random. And okay, we're obviously just hunting for a queen trade here. Because queen trade would be ideal. I'm sure rook takes is better, followed by like rook to f7. It's probably better, but we're up a rook. We're up a rook. To be honest, we can probably just push the h pawn. I don't see how black really stops us. Let's just keep pushing. And keep pushing. And let's do this. And that's a free bishop. GG. Yeah. Pushing flank pawns can be a very good tactic. Or strategy, even. Yeah, very good game. I think that knight to f3 is better here. Although f5 is also fine. But he probably shouldn't be taking on f3. That's not the way to go. You'd be better off playing a move like even castles. and do something like take, 95, take, c6 maybe, bishop b3. Computer likes this. This is probably a better way to go about the position, but the Vienna, most people don't know how to play against it, right? Okay, I'm going to play like a couple more games, and then I'm going to go. So let's go Carnegie X. Carnage? Carnegie? I don't know. Matthew, thank you, man. Hope you continue to enjoy the content. I don't think this is any increment, so we're going to see if I can play without increment. We have the Centurion system, though. That's a free pawn. This is the best line for white, to be fair, but... and then what is it? I think it's knight f6. I think this is the way to go. And we're up a pawn, but we are obviously lacking in development. Then... I think the computer likes g6 in these lines, and like d6. It doesn't like d5. Doesn't like that. Okay. Now I think we should evacuate our queen. Castle. These are very difficult positions because we're up a pawn, but like white has good play. But after like d6 and queen d8, we should be fine. I mean, there's no holes in our position, really. White has more space, yes, but we're up a pawn. And we also have e5 on the way, potentially. Knight h5 too. That's also a good idea. Yes, he goes pawn to h3, giving his bishop a hidey hole. Let's go knight bd7, I guess. No, you don't have to be friends, Levi. Like, you literally just... You can't challenge while I'm in a game. I don't know why, but you can't. So you just have to wait till the game is over and then just send a challenge. Okay, well, obviously I'm happy to trade. That is no issue with me. Okay, let's go rook e8. We probably have to leave our bishop on c8 for the time being to defend b7, which I don't love, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, let's drop the knight back to d7. And I want to just execute e5. And now I'm very happy. Now I'm very happy. Take, knight c5. Oh, probably bishop c... Bishop e3. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. No. No. Okay, very nice. Very nice. And now we're just picking up a piece because the queen has to move and then we win the bishop. Yeah, more resilient was probably bishop to e3, but still looks good for us. Even if we're not winning a piece. I mean, we're still up a pawn, obviously, which I will obviously be repeating many times during the game because we were up a pawn the whole game. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how white declines the queen trade. Well, I suppose like that, but... I think b6 is probably the most simple. But then, am I getting trapped? Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. What if I take rook here, queen here, rook here? No, we can't go there. Can I get away with that? It doesn't feel right, does it? Certainly doesn't feel right. Oh, wait, no, I have knight a6. Yeah, knight a6 is the move. Hitting the queen, so you don't have time to trap my queen because your queen's under attack. That's the way to do this. Okay, awesome. And then I have time to get my queen out of there. I mean, the white queen doesn't have all that many squares to go to be fair. Yeah, I mean, a queen trade I'm obviously going to take. That's a no-brainer. And then I can actually put my knight back there, or I can even put it on b4 to blockade the b pawn. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's go f6 to secure e5, which basically makes both of white's remaining minor pieces absolutely horrific. Let's go bishop e6. And let's trade. And let's go here. And then we'll take. And then we'll bring the king, and then we'll go rook to d8. And then we'll trade. Or not. And I'll infiltrate, forcing king back. Otherwise, you lose g2. Or you can go there. Let's go bishop h6. With big threats. Okay, my opponent runs out of time. GG, yeah. Interesting game. This is the best way to play against my quote-unquote Centurion system. And my opponent, yeah, E3 is wrong, E4 is better. But here we're just doing quite well. We're just doing quite well. The game is equal. The game is equal, but we're up a pawn. Here we're better. And we essentially just have to not blunder anything. And allowing me to trade like this did not feel right. Oh, the computer loves my move knight d7. Knight d7 is the only move that holds a good advantage. I'm actually the GOAT. But no, I mean, e5 is clearly the plan, right? Let's be fair. e5 is the only plan. e5, take. I mean, bishop e3 is forced here to stop knight c5. And here, I mean, there's loads of things we can play. Computer likes bishop f8. Don't know if I'd be playing that. Queen e7 or queen c7 probably looks more natural to me. This is that bad. Oh, we have to stop pawn c5. That's why the computer likes bishop f8. And if rook here, then we have to blockade the square. Yeah, we just can't allow c5. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to play one more game, and then I'm going to get going. I am hungry. I've got pasta for tea, though. So, in that spirit, let's play against lasagna checkmate. Let's go a3. The Mengarini. Hell yeah. I released a video on the Mengarini like a couple days ago. And it hasn't got many views, but it is a banging game. It's an unbelievable game. So you should go watch it after this stream, of course. This will be like your appetizer for the Mengarini. And then you can go watch the rapid game. Okay? Now we just kick my opponent's knight around. Play... No, knight f3 is the move here. I always forget that. But I didn't today. And it's like bishop c4, castles, d4. Very, very nice. Oh, yeah, and then now d3, though. That's the good move. That's the good move. Yeah, GNA, hopefully. I assume you mean the g6 line against the Mengarini, which I still quite like playing with white, to be fair. I don't know if this was the right move. Maybe it was bishop d3. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, let's go bishop e2. No, Cydia, I am reading the chat. I am. Let's castle. Wait, why did I just give up? Why did I just give up a pawn? Someone explain. Okay, well, my opponent didn't want the pawn. That's really kind. To be fair, I mean, maybe if like take knight takes, I have like queen d5. So maybe I'm okay. Like knight c3, queen c3. Yeah, whatever. I don't want to calculate that. Okay. b6 is actually interesting. That's an interesting move. I'm trying to deflect the queen. And one of the main points of the Mengarini is that you can't do this. So let's take. And... Oh no, oh my e4 pawn. I've just literally blundered it again. He can literally just take. And I don't even have queen a4 because it's queen c6. And then the knight's defended, and yeah. That's rough, man. That's rough. There goes my pawn. Truly playing this in gambit fashion now. But maybe we have counterplay. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, obviously it wasn't a free pawn because I had queen a4 at the end of the line. Suppose bishop b3 makes sense. Bishop b3, queen b2. That's quite annoying, actually. I do have rook a7. Here, here, here. Take, take. Yeah, but then he takes, which isn't as fun. So let's just do this. And then we'll play d4, probably. And we have a decent center. Go c4. Maybe c4. Knight to f4, though. Knight f4 is annoying. It's tough. Tough. Well, bishop f3. Then knight f4 isn't so bad. Let's do that. Knight f4, bishop e3. Bishop c5. Knight c4. Queen b5. Knight a3. That looks pretty good. That is pretty good. Low on time, though. I need to speed up. Got an interesting position. That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, we're the only people... Well, we're the only side with any kind of central pawn presence. My opponent has flank pawns. Okay, that's interesting. Here. Okay, we hit the queen, we hit the knight. I don't know if this works, but I don't really have time to calculate. It's a good move. Let's go d4. And now this bishop's kind of blunted. Maybe I should have played bishop a3. If here, then here. But if bishop a3, you do have bishop e7. Ooh, that's a bold move. Okay. I think it's alright, but it's bold. Let's go bishop a3. Yeah, I like this. Whoa, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. That's game over. You can't do that. You had to go bishop e7, I think. Yeah, bishop e7 has to be played. Even then, I think the position's nice for white, but... Okay. Let's take that. And I mean, this is still hanging. It's not going anywhere. I figured I'd take this one because this one isn't going anywhere, right? Whereas this one could go somewhere. Let's take. Now we're up 2 rooks momentarily. And then we'll take here with check. And then we'll take here. We're very well defended. And now we're up a lot of material. Just gotta be careful, like, you know, check, king h1. Can he take here? No, he can't because we can defend that, but gotta be a little bit careful. Let's kick the queen. Let's ask the knight what it's doing. Do I listen to Michael Jackson? Not really. No, not really. Let's go f3, just to annoy Ben Feingold. Let's go knight c4. I know I can take on a7, but Why does my opponent keep creating counterplay? That's really annoying. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Alex, have you talked about what kind of music you like? Yeah, I did a bit earlier on the stream. Okay, I don't see what I'm missing here. We can take. Oh, I just missed mate. I literally had back rank mate because I was covering this. Okay, whatever. Let's just come back. And my opponent resigns. Okay. GG. Yeah, I literally just had mate on the board. This is just mate. But, nah, whatever. It's fine. Still completely winning. Okay. GG. As I said, we faced this variation the other day on the speed run. So you should go check that out. And I'm going to go because I'm really hungry. And I think I'm going to go eat something. So thank you all for watching. And yeah, go watch other videos on my channel because I make good content.